på sosiale medier I dag, går ofte kvalitetsinnhold ubemerket. På Den.Social blir brukere betalt for å skape, evaluere og sørge for kvalitetsinnhold. Innholdsskapere blir belønnet basert på engasjementet og rekkevidden innlegget eller kommentaren deres får. Evaluering av innhold blir belønnet basert på hastighet og presisjon I forhold til hva som kommer til å trende og gå viralt. Eiere av fellesskap blir belønnet basert på engasjementet I sitt fellesskap. På Den.Social blir kvalitetsinnhold belønnet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Another DENDAO call, governance call for today, which is January 26th, 2023. We do this every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time. Looks like we've got myself, Dave Distant on Den, Joe Dragon, and I am for I am. Welcome to the meeting.
Hey, guys.
Hello, hello.
I'll run through the agenda real quick, and then we can start talking about stuff. So, quick reminder, there is a link to join at the top of the agenda. This is posted over in the DENDAO layer. So if you have something you wanted to come in and talk about, that's the link to use to do it. You can also join if you're in like YouTube chat or something watching this on YouTube. You can join there, or you can leave a reply to this post, and we will catch that also. And those are the ways to get your input and feedback in. So we've got new layers. And we have a GI that has resolved. And in that GI, we have some discussion about maybe a potential related one. So that's what's on the agenda today. New layers, we got 4 of them. We actually did have somebody do the, what are we calling it? Pay the fee, the runner-up fee?
Yes.
That method?
Runner.
Yeah. Yep. So
Yes.
by unique voters, which is typically the most supported one, individual voters, by unique voters, we have Star Wars. And that's awesome because I love Star Wars. And I even put the, looks like the Avatar passed muster as well. That Avatar is from, if you look at the GI in Star Wars, you'll see that there's a link in there where that came from. One of the fellow denizens, we started a discussion about Star Wars over in the movies layer. And they brought up the fact that they used to have like a merch store or something. And so I think that's their artwork. Cool. So I just cut that out and was like, hey, look, perfect Avatar. So that's cool. Homegrown artwork.
Nice.
And we've also got, so that was by unique voters. The other category that we have winners in is lore committed. So you can vote as many times as you have lore to commit. And so number 8 and 21 were the winners, and that was selfie in number 8. So we have a place to put all our selfies now. So for everybody out there that's putting all those selfies over in the photography layer, you have another option, selfies. Maybe you can market it to both layers and see which one works out the best for you. We've also got quotes. So this one's cool because, I don't know, quotes are cool. Like it could be from anything. It's a quote. It could be inspiring. It could be infuriating. But just as long as it's interesting, it can go in here. People can vote on it, stuff like that. So those are the ones that won.
I shall quote myself.
There you go. Yep, me. So those are the ones that won. So that's the free layers. Now there's a runner-up option if you want to pay a little bit of your rewards that you've been earning on Matter, on Den. In Matter, you can pay to get one of the 5 runners-up to be created along with the winners. And this month we did have Digital Nomad that was created through runners-up. And that one's got some nice artwork up there too. And it looks like I've been going through and making sure I vote on this stuff. I voted on the other Avatar, so I didn't get what I wanted. Which I love. I sometimes like not getting what I wanted, just in case anybody wants to accuse me of being too big of a whale, which occasionally happens. It doesn't mean that, and that's kind of the beauty of Den, is like, it shows that it works. You know what I mean? I like the other Avatar, but that doesn't matter. Didn't win. So Digital Nomad, if you're not familiar with that concept, go ask in that layer what it's about. Now, related to the GI, everybody should go and subscribe to those layers, because at the moment, when a layer is born, it does not auto subscribe anybody to it. It doesn't have any subscribers. So people have to remember, oh, we have new layers. Then they have to go look for it. And then they have to, as I am could tell you, have to look for it and look for it and look for it and look for it, because it's
Control
a long
F,
list of
Control
layers.
F, Control F.
Control F, yeah. So Control F search will take you right to it. But because of that, there's this GI, it would be handy if it auto subscribed people to a new layer, right? Because the community is already voting for it. Like, it won. Part of winning should come with some visibility. So if you're not subscribed to a layer, and maybe you don't know this, if you're not subscribed to a layer, you never see it. So if you're on Den and you're like, man, there ain't shit here, it's probably because you're not subscribed to the ones where the stuff is. So go subscribe to stuff that you think is interesting.
Something that brings up. So 2 points. Directly to that, we should do a review on what the default, both the default for people who aren't logged in and the default subscriptions for a new user. They're 2 different lists.
Yeah.
And
we've done that once.
Yeah.
Like
we
last
haven't
year,
done it in a long time. So
yeah,
I wonder if there's some way, theoretically, when we get to the metrics in, that would be a good decider. It would automatically.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Compete for it.
Yeah. That's something. There's so many things that branch out from leaderboard stuff, that'll be done in leaderboard stuff, to where now you're going to have a list to go by, because you could even make it. You could even make it to where, like, every month you update, or maybe maybe twice a year, whatever. And then, but it gives you like a heartbeat sort of thing, like where's the activity at, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think what you said about the not logged in layers, that's important too. Like, what does the public facing Den look like to a new potential denizen who has never signed up?
Right. And then one other thing is this auto subscribe thing. We could add as a, and this we probably want approval on, but it could be something where you auto subscribe. If somebody's getting a business layer, that they could pay a little more.
I see what you're saying.
It'd be dangerous. People might not like it. You could always unsubscribe, but it'd be another way to monetize.
That's interesting. I don't know that it would be. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's obvious. You do anything we want. It would just be up for a DENDAO vote kind of thing, because like at that point, like, you're literally buying subscribers, and that's an advertising thing. But it could also be not a big deal and fine and beneficial too, especially if they're paying for it, especially if they're paying for it in Matter, especially if they're going to buy Matter to pay for it. That could just be beneficial to everybody. So interesting point, Joe.
Sorry.
So the vote passed and it was approved to make it to where, as layers win the LCP, my Southern's coming out, when they win the LCP, it'll auto subscribe people to it. So, like, for example, with Star Wars and Selfie and Quotes and Digital Nomad, those would have inherited subscribers right out the gate. So when you start posting in there, people will see it, and it'll also remind people that the LCP exists too. Frankly, because if you notice, you see something in a layer that you've never heard of before. Like, what is this layer? Star Wars. I didn't know we had a Star Wars layer. But you see it because you got auto subscribed to it, and it just showed up in your feed. That's visibility for the layer. It's a reminder.
Or I'm not interested. I'm just going to unsubscribe.
Yeah. Right. Totally. That's an indicator too, where you can,
and
you can always unsubscribe. Yeah.
The interface, at least when I looked at it, it was at least reasonable enough, because if you just see a regular post, you click on the post and the unsubscribe button's right there. So if you see it's like, oh, this is content I will never want to see, you can just unsubscribe. If you could also scroll down to IAM's comment, I'm wondering, I don't know. I wanted to ask if you wanted to do it, if you want me to do it, but I think it's a good idea.
I'd be happy to. I saw your, I'd be happy to do that after the call.
Okay.
I'll be, the And by the way, Joe, I don't know where you get these images. They're phenomenal.
Oh man, I was looking at those two, the
you
Shrek
probably
TV, and then the
never
next
tell,
one too, where it was like the CRT
Yeah.
astronaut head thing. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I'm
it was
a collector.
phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I'm busting up laughing.
I am a refined curator in memes. So
collector.
yes, I can give you
Collector
some of my
dealer.
sources. But yeah. No, it's like there's some I have a lot that I
they're
hold
always
back.
good. As a matter of fact, quite honestly, sometimes I lose I get so ADHD. I go off on a tangent looking at this meme and not looking at what you type.
Yeah.
They're that good. They're that good.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, that could be something that the memes layer does a better job of, is like getting people to make memes and rewarding them for it. Because this is off topic, so I won't spend any time on it. But I want to mention that while Nero is a meme coin on purpose, it's a fork of Monero. They've got a wallet, like a wallet, but it's called Wowlet. And in the wallet, you can post memes, and people can tip you in Nero for your memes. And I thought it was really cool. Like, they actually have an officially integrated into their wallet a meme economy to where you can generate, curate, vote on, and reward memes. So hey man, memes layer needs to catch up to the meme coin.
Yes.
There. So all right, back on topic.
What coin is this?
Nero. It's fantastic. They've actually done some amazing development and research and development. They figured out how to solve centralization of pool mining as an issue, as a problem, because that's one of the things with Monero, with Bitcoin, that they both experience. It's a proof of work, and there's an issue when too many people, like Antpool, for example. And now we're way off topic, but Antpool, because they make mining hardware, they have the biggest Bitcoin pool. So theoretically, the pool operator could direct all of that influence over the network to attack the network. So what Nero did was they said, what if the miner had to, the individual miner had to actually sign their work with their private key, meaning you put your private key in your mining software. And so that the network only rewards the individual who found the block, and it doesn't get shared by a pool, making pool mining impossible. And I was like, dude, that's brilliant. And they implemented it, and it works. And I've used it. It's great. So kudos to R&D by whoever wants to do it. I don't care if you're a meme coin or not.
Awesome.
So
if anybody's interested, and I would love to plug it in to the meme layer. We did, when we had the hackathon, probably 2019, 2020, whenever that was. It was a while ago. One of the projects was there's a guy up there that was in Bellevue, but in Washington, but I kind of brought the idea in. He didn't win, which is probably because I brought the idea in, but essentially it is something that would track memes moving through in a how do I say this, in a sparsely captured network. That is, I could pass something to Dave could pass something to IAM could pass something to his family member, the family member could pass something back, and then if someone is on a network, they can say, oh, this is an awesome meme, I'm going to register it, and they get rewarded just for tracking it. And the producer of it, if they have the provenance on chain, get the biggest reward, right? So, and that, it was essentially meant to be like a new, if you ask me, I think it's the next generation advertising. I think that's where advertising will be, is memes. But it's just right now, it's, it's Wild West, it's crazy, but I think that's
cool, even from the perspective of seeing how something spreads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just researching how shit spreads.
Exactly.
Like that.
Because you can see how viral it goes. You can see the people would be rewarded for both how far they extend the meme, and the meme is rewarded for how far it extends. And it uses steganography. So someone just passing it in an email
yeah.
wouldn't even know. They're just passing it. And if it gets recaptured, then you see this. You can build a tree. So anyway, really cool.
Similar to what we said earlier in World Blog
Fascinating
Camp,
idea.
the Where's George stamp on the dollar bill.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
go
yes.
to the website, type in where you are. Here's where this dollar bill has been, and you can see it traveling all the way around.
It was
stuff
great.
like that.
It was great.
Mhm.
Then it got
Yeah.
buggy or hacked, or I don't know. Turned
Did it?
into
Or
like
people got bored with it. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't
All
seen
right.
it for a while.
Let's move along.
Oh, but
Let's
anyway, going
see.
back to, I'd be more than happy to input this proposal.
To make it retroactive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would like to
make
see.
it retroactive.
I would like to see whatever we call the honorary inductees, start to post ideas for DENDAO, right?
Yeah, that would be great.
Push new stuff.
Just to see different, just to see different names proposing the thing. So what are we talking when we talk about retroactive? How far back are we talking? What do you think?
It could be interesting. I would go all
Yeah.
the way back, but LCPs or LCPs.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, so we could retroactively make it to where an LCP wins and it auto subscribes everyone. Now, what that would mean effectively is that everybody would be auto subscribed to a ton of layers in one shot,
Right.
and then going forward, obviously you would only get 3 more per month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless we change the number that wins and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem, but
is-
maybe it will annoy someone if they're like all of a sudden subscribe to 20 new layers or something. I don't know. It's probably fine.
Thinking
right?
this through, thinking this through, that could come down to blurring the matrix of layers that have the most subscribers. We will see some layers that are going to decrease because people are going to say, I really don't want to subscribe to this layer. I just don't want to see it. I'm not opposed.
And you should
against.
Honestly unsubscribe from stuff that you don't like.
But when we're talking about in previous meetings, we've talked about inactive layers and individuals who or owners that are inactive, but other people are active in the layer but don't have ownership. I haven't thought this through. I guess that really doesn't matter because we were talking about inactivity. We're not talking about subscribers.
Right.
Correct?
But I'm wondering if the subscribers would stem activity anyway.
Right.
Like I think that's the experiment though, right? Will an influx of subscribership generate activity because now people are seeing stuff that they didn't see before and wanting to participate in the conversation? That's kind of the experiment, probably, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then whereas before we were talking specifically about lot holders and stuff, that kind of thing. Cool. Yeah,
I think let's. I'm up for it. Yeah. I'll write up the proposal this afternoon and then
cool.
See how it comes out in the vote.
You got my vote. I think it's a good idea. Cool. So,
I'm going to call it what? Honorary inductee retro subscriber.
You can reference. You can reference this GI, the one that just resolved. You can reference that GI and say, make this GI retroactive to apply to LCPs from the past. You know what I mean? Because that's all really we've decided at this point, because it resolved and it was approved. We've decided that we do want to do that. So all you're really saying is, okay, yes, do that, and also make it retroactive to layers that are to past LCPs. And I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So, but that's not done yet. So go subscribe manually to the new layers that won, and get some stuff going there. Looks like Quotes needs some help on artwork. So if you can think of a good banner or avatar, go ahead and propose that if you're a lot holder. If you're not a lot holder, just make a post and say, hey, somebody who's a lot holder, here's some artwork for you. Moving on. All right. So that's actually the entire agenda. So we have feedback from IM in the reply section. If we want to scroll down and look at that. So you were asking about, oh, you lied to us. You said you can't attend.
Oh, yeah.
I
said if.
Okay. Gotcha.
If I'm unable to attend.
I was just making a stupid joke. It's fine.
That's
so
okay.
Odyssey and Rumble. Yeah. I hear you're making.
This is true. It
Mhm.
could be someone with a good voice print, right?
I am not for.
Right.
I'm not. So you're launching a channel. You're going to be doing some videos and stuff, and you said you're going to be on Rumble as well, right? I am. So you were asking about
just because of the censorship
getting that in
issue.
there. Yep. So you're asking about getting that in. We do have approval to just go ahead and do it. I don't know if that was added to the priorities list or not. I don't know if it needs to be.
Yeah.
I
just
don't think it's a huge deal to add it. I just haven't there's just been so much going on that it just hasn't been. We need to look at it and see, because I'm pretty sure with the front end, the way that YouTube's handled, that we could probably do it in a similar fashion. And there's some reuse of code that we can use to make it not so hard.
For Rumble
but I actually
and
don't,
Odyssey.
For Rumble and Odyssey, yeah.
And I was trying to say that make it simple. Make it just simple. We don't have to worry about those sites. What's the word? Compensation of library coin or whatever. We don't have to
integrate
at
in
this
their economy.
point. My feeling is we have YouTube that is so censorship. I think Den is all about internally up and down vote censorship and not, centralized censorship. So it's important that we provide alternatives to YouTube, is my opinion, and just make it simple just so it can get in there. Later, we can put proposals in there for, if for compensation, because isn't there something to do with library with compensation with their token? For
they do have like an LBC token and stuff like that. Yeah. So
that's
Joe,
what I was trying to say.
I think, and that's probably the best way to go. Just get it in there so it can show up as an option. Right now, I think if we did it the same way that currently we have, for example, SoundCloud, if you put a certain SoundCloud link, it'll actually pull in SoundCloud in the same way that it does YouTube. So we can probably do the same thing to Odyssey and with Rumble, to where if you just put theirs in there, it'll just pull in the video without caring about, like I am said, without caring about necessarily the economy associated with it, just having it available.
Yep,
okay, cool. So we'll take another look at that. I can probably look into that.
The first item, though.
Yeah. And then the other thing was the leaderboard on here. Is that what you're getting at?
Right. Now I was just going to say, what's our timeline? What's it look like? How are we doing? So when will be the next potential?
I wanted to have something up already.
And I hate asking developers for time.
That's okay. I wanted to have something up already. We have been pretty busy, and it's taken a little bit longer to kind of get going on that. What we found was one of the things is that actually something that was included in the economy reputation system requires that we update the existing metrics page to handle displaying things correctly. And so that was a holdup. But that's also the same page where we're going to put the leaderboard to. So the leaderboard is going to be in the same place where your metrics page is. We have gone through and designed where that's going to go and stuff. Because I wasn't sure before if we were going to have a dedicated leaderboard.Den.Social or something that you can look at if you're not logged in. But you'll have to be logged in to look at it. But it'll show all the stuff, and it'll also show so you can go through and navigate and look at the site-wide stuff and look at your personal stuff. So no, there's nothing to show yet, I guess is the answer to that. But that is the next thing. But unfortunately, that's all. I don't know. I wish I had more on it. I wanted to have something to show, but I don't have anything right now. What I do have is some of the underlying just like queries and stuff that will give the results to show on the leaderboard. It's just a matter of getting APIs created so that we can we can pull that to show that and display it, make it pretty and stuff like that. So there's more front end than back end stuff to do. The back end stuff's identified and stuff like that. So cool. What else we got? Oh, Hyperion frequency. I don't know anything about optimism except for there's an Ethereum optimism thing, but it doesn't look like that's what you're talking about. If you make a post about it so I can learn about it. Do you guys know what optimism is as far as here? I'll bring it up. It was asking, there's a group trying to generate an economy based on funding public goods. And I actually don't know anything about that, but I'd like to learn more about it.
Okay.
And then he also says that he left a comment for you to go check out. I am.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
Go do that.
Definitely look at that. Always like what Hyperion has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I don't actually have. There's not a big agenda today. Is there anything else we need to cover for governance stuff? We do need that new GI from IAM, but that can, like I said, be pretty simple. Just reference the first one and make it retroactive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. So that GI passed. Do we apply it? I guess it doesn't matter because the retroactive thing is coming and it'll just apply to everything. I was going to ask you if I should go ahead and do that for the current winners, basically, because I could make that happen to like the current winners. Did that GI apply to this LCP or not?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer. Let's just wait and see if the retroactive one passes, and then it won't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it wouldn't because I think it wasn't there when they went live. So
yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the objective correct answer. All right. I don't think we need to use up the full hour today unless you guys have something that needs to be discussed.
I don't have anything else.
Nope. Right on. Well, in that case,
I enjoyed the roundtable today. Thank you.
I did too. I thought I was talking a little bit to Greg after the show. If anybody didn't see it, go see it. The conversation I thought was great, and important and relevant and all that stuff. We talked a little bit afterwards, and none of us really knew how that was going to go. It was an interesting topic, megatexas.eth. And we're like, I don't know what this is even going to be about or how well it's going to go. It ended up being a really interesting topic. I was pretty happy with the discussion and your draft white paper. I got to say, that he should steal it. Greg, Mega Texas should just use that. That sounds like what they want to do. And I think it is so interesting that I'm not going to run for office personally, but it makes me want to. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to, share that around and tell people how good of an idea it is, because honestly, it was top notch. That's really good thinking. And that's the kind of shit that seems dramatically radical until you read it and understand what it's suggesting. And then you realize, oh, that's just how it's supposed to be anyway. So the radical idea is making things how they're supposed to be already. So that's one way.
And quite honestly, it's inserting a blockchain in to non-crypto people where they can understand it. Mm-hmm. And then that might propagate into other things.
Hyperion frequency. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's two places you can find it. In the today's World Blockchain Roundtable, there's the full draft white paper is posted in there that we were talking about, and then also you posted it in a different layer too. I forget which one.
In
politics, probably.
Politics.
Yeah, politics layer.
Politics.
So go check that out. It's good stuff. So Den has Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's shows you can catch. Tuesday, Joe does Super Happy Dragon Lucky, which is updates on Dragon Chain and Den with an AMA section. So you can find that in the Dragon Chain layer, and you can add questions to that leading up to the show. Top 3, I think, get selected and rewarded and talked about on air. On Wednesdays, I do a morning coffee show called Coffee with Den in the Coffee with Den layer. That's 9 a.m. And like this meeting, that is open to the public. So there's a link to join on those. Super casual. We often just kind of hang out, drink coffee, talk about whatever we want. And half the time it's related to blockchain and Den, and half the time it's just humans that are on Den together talking. So it's very open to anybody to pop in and hang out and talk about stuff. We did gaming, virtual geocaching yesterday, played some video games, good times. And then Thursday, we have World Blockchain Roundtable, which is a rotating topic and hosts where anybody can ask a question, get rewarded for that as well, over in the World Blockchain Roundtable on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, which would be, 8 a.m. on the Pacific, right? 3 hours difference. So those are all live shows that are on Den that anybody can participate in and get rewarded for if they participate. And then we have this meeting on today at now.
Every Thursdays,
where we talk about governance stuff. So there's your reminders. Also, make sure you're checking out the governance tab on Den, the gavel, so you can know when there's something to vote on. That keeps the ship moving along, help us steer the ship. That's what we're doing together. And other than that, any last thing, we can go ahead and wrap up here, I think.
I just want to say decentralize everything.
Yes.
Cool. Check out the forward party.
There you go.
Show off our shirts. You got lithium there? All right. Go to the merch store, dragonchain.store. You can buy the lithium shirt that Joe's wearing, I think is on there too.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. All good.
All right, everybody have a good one, and we will regroup in a week for this call again.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
Thanks for everything.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.